Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Today I want to talk about mounting your rifle or shouldering your rifle. This is one of the more important interactions you have with your rifle, so you better make it count. So let's get into it. So before we go any farther, if you like this sort of content, share the video, hit the subscribe button. That would absolutely help out the channel a lot because I am trying to hit 50,000 subscribers this year. Need about 14,000 more to go, and the year is going by quickly. So you want to help me out, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get more videos from me, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. I do appreciate everybody's support. If you want to support the channel beyond that, you can become a member. It's very inexpensive. You get members only posts, giveaway entries, and other members only content. So again, thank you. Mounting your rifle, shouldering your rifle. Again, this is one of the more important, arguably one of the most important interactions you have with your rifle, so you better make it count. So two of the more common things I see on the range, whether it's new shooters or even shooters with a certain amount of experience, but maybe they were just never taught properly, is you have the person that has the rifle down here real low, maybe in their bicep, and they crank way down here to get the view on the optic. They probably don't have a good cheek weld or chin weld. Those both are a thing, by the way. But they crank way down here, or they're leaned way back and they're doing this number. I don't get it. How are you fucking comfortable like this? I don't know. But they lean way back. They got the stock in their bicep here, you know, or even if they have the stock in their shoulder, it's so low that they're cranked way down and they have to crank their shoulders way up. Again, I don't understand how anybody could do that and they'd be like, I'm doing it right, and like it can't feel good. The other is this guy that shoulders the rifle, has a decent shoulder pocket, has a decent placement of the stock in the pocket of their shoulder, which I'll get to in a second, but they're leaned way far out. They do this turtleback thing and they're way over their center of gravity and they're shooting like this. Now, what are the issues with those two things? The first issue with the too low, which obviously by saying too low, that's by definition is one of the problems. That's too low. You're leaned back, you're cranked over, right? Or even if you're cranked too far into it like that, but your stock placement is too low and you're all leaned back like this and shit. It's horrible for recoil management. It's horrible for movement. It's horrible for just about every fundamental of rifle shooting, from, again, recoil mitigation, pulling the rifle into your shoulder, reloads, moving, all of that stuff suffers because of that body placement. And to be honest, like when I do that, when I even just do that for a video like this, it's a killer. Like I don't know how somebody, you know, just constantly leaned way back like that. It's hard on the body. Now, equally with the big leaned way over your center of gravity like this, that is also equally hard on the body. The body likes to be over top of its feet. Your center mass, your mass likes to be over top of what's holding it the fuck up, and that is your feet and legs and your hips. So your body likes to be over top of its structure, and when you lean way out over that, there's bones and muscles you're using that you don't need to. Additionally, when you are cranked way over like this, right, you end up, you can't go anywhere. Like if you got to look this way real quick, you can't. If you look this way real quick, you can't, because everything is kind of in your way. You've kind of pinched your head between your shoulder and your stock. So that again is no bueno. Also, when you go to move from that position, if you are hunched out way over top of your feet and you have to jet this way or jet this way, you come into your compressed position to move, you have to stand up and then move. You can't move from this position because you're out over top of your feet. Your center is out over top of your structure, beyond your structure, and you're gonna fall over yourself. Your head ends up outrunning, your head and body end up outrunning your feet, and you nosedive. So those are the issues with those two common things that I see. So Matt, now that you're done telling me how bad I'm fucking up, how do you do it right? All right, I'm not here just to shit on people that are doing it wrong. This is for learning, not to gatekeep or to shit on people. So I mentioned the pocket, and the pocket of your shoulder, if you act like you're gonna hug somebody, right? And where your shoulder muscle sort of meets your upper pec here, right there is a good spot, a good deep in section for you to place your stock. Because when you wrap your arm, you're going to be squared up to the target, chest presented forward or as forward as possible. This is one of those always and never things. I've mentioned it in another video. Always and never are used far too often. You can't always have a dead square chest to the target. You will be bladed a little bit most of the time. So you have your chest facing the target as best as possible. You have the rifle in that pocket. And so when you wrap your arm around to grab the grip, your rifle or your shoulder curls around that stock a little bit, giving it no place to go during recoil. So I watched a video recently of some guy that, as far as I can tell, is obviously trained by YouTube and not by any actual people or taking classes. He was trying to tell people how to mount their rifle, how to shoulder their rifle.
So you can be here and you can be walking and then you see a target, bam, immediately, you're on it. You're here, you're walking, I'm just doing kind of like a mid-ready, if you will. You're walking straight here, bam, right there. That's where you're at.
We've all seen the GBRS videos of DJ Shipley where he has his rifle up a little higher, but he also has a very tall optic. Now this is where it comes into play, where it depends on how high and how low you have your rifle. So you're going to want your rifle in this pocket. However, it can be a little higher, right? Notice I'm out of the pocket a little bit for height, but still well over half of my stock is in there. And this allows me to have the least amount of head movement for the height of my optic. If I had a taller optic, I could even be lower and still have a higher heads-up display. My head could be higher. We talked about being able to see left and right. The ability to have your head up higher and observe left and right is an important thing. So there's a couple extremes, especially with that video that I saw, where the guy takes, and he's like almost up here in order to have a straight up head, right? Like this. And that gives you nothing for recoil mitigation, because you don't just whip it up into place, right? You don't just whip it up here like this and you're done, because the other part is pulling. This is one of the things I like about forward grips, is pulling it into the pocket. So when you have it mounted correctly, right? When you have it mounted correctly, you take this other hand and you pull in. You pull into your body, leaving this hand to do more of this work, as opposed to gripping this hard and pulling as well with this hand. You lose dexterity in your hand by doing so. So you have a good shoulder weld, a good shoulder purchase, I should say. You have a good cheek weld, having the rifle as high as you can, and your head with the least amount of movement as possible, while keeping the bulk or all of your buttstock in your shoulder pocket. And once you're there, you take your offhand and you pull the rifle into your shoulder. If you do not do this, that's where you end up with guys, all these guys on YouTube that are shooting a rifle and their rifle's like bouncing off of them, right? You can tell that they're not employing the correct fundamentals of mounting their rifle, because if they were, they would have this pulled in and the rifle almost wouldn't move. So that is mounting your rifle or shouldering your rifle. Hope everybody got something out of this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, support the channel. Again, trying to hit 50,000 subscribers this year. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.